Pochettino telling us at half-time he felt his team was the better side in the first half. A little frustrated at the way they gave up the goal, with the only shot on target from Paraguay. But a lot of things that he liked from this group in that first 45 minutes of play. Bobadilla with a high ball forward, headed away by Scally. Best getting back to defenders. Arce turns that one backwards here towards Riveros. 15th cap for him, left back tonight for Paraguay. Junior Alonso. Bobadilla tries to switch it wide to the right for Cáceres. And Cáceres inside here, Francisco. Blocked back well by Arston, and here's an opportunity for the US carrying it forward as the ball is slipped through towards Aronson, and easy in the end for Orlando Hill, the keeper, to claim. Paraguay getting things going quickly. Almiron was caught there. The coaching staff of Paraguay off the bench. They wanted the free kick.
Right. I don't know if Scally gets a piece of this, but absolutely crushing tackle.
Gets a piece of it.
Definitely gets a lot. I mean, I don't know, a piece, gets the whole part.
Well, it's easy to see there why Gustavo Alfaro felt that they should have had the free kick, and Miguel Almiron actually was just asking the assistant referee why there wasn't a flag there, seeing as the assistant was pretty close by. Riveros plays it high inside, wide to Cáceres on the right. The long ball downfield. Arce chasing, but it's through towards Matt Freese, who has had a very quiet night. He talked in the build-up to this one about returning to Philadelphia, but also about the fact that he will have two very different receptions from the fans here in the space of 7 days, because tonight he's on the home side here with the US representing his country. Next week he heads with NYCFC into enemy territory in the playoffs in the conference semi-final here against Philadelphia Union, where even as an old Philly boy he's expecting to get a little bit of a hostile reception from the home faithful here at Subaru Park. Quiet night for both keepers so far.
As it should be.
The way he was talking about it, he actually sounded as if it's something he's relishing, actually. Robinson.
It's always fun. I remember the first time I went back to Columbus. You know, clap the fans. They give you a moment, but then you're a visiting player.
Aronson down the left. Back towards Ream. And Paraguay getting set to make their first change. Gallagher dropping deep there to get on that one. Looks like it might be Ramon Sosa coming in. Palmeiras attacker who missed the October window with a hamstring injury. Across the back from Robinson towards Ream. There's a player down on the far side. It's the right back Cáceres. He's getting back to his feet now as he sees the referee play on. Reina finds Arston. And Cáceres coming back there with a big challenge. And Cisco away. Almiron just lays that one back, and it's played forward out wide to the left, and Paraguay with an opportunity forward here with Riveros. Riveros with the early ball in, and Ream just chests it back towards Freese.
Well done for Balogun.
It's going to be Diego Gonzalez leaving the game as Ramon Sosa will come in. Sosa making the move to Palmeiras last July from Nottingham Forest. Had one goal in 19 Premier League appearances in his year with Forest. Only made one start though during that time.
I wonder if Pepe's going to get his chance. I mean, we've definitely called plenty of games where he's come off the bench and gone ahead and got the game winner. It's good to see him back in camp. I was watching Pochettino talking the other day about you need 3 strikers. He's saying if you look at rosters, I'm going to need 3 guys. I've got 3 guys, and they're all in camp together.
So in comes Sosa, replacing Diego Gonzalez. The first change made by either side on the night. We talk about Ricardo Pepi there, his first squad since last November. He scored in back-to-back games against Jamaica. He scored on his last 3 US appearances, including starting against Panama in Austin in Mauricio Pochettino's first game in charge. (14) career international goals for Ricardo Pepi in 33 caps, and 6 goals in 17 caps as a substitute. No movement yet from Mauricio Pochettino, though, in terms of making any changes. Ramon Sosa in for his 26th cap. Tessman. Aronson. This is Dest. Balogun couldn't get there. Cisco tries to turn but loses out to Tessman. Aronson's ball through. Balogun goes down. He stays down. He wanted the penalty, and the referee wasn't interested. Balogun, with his head in his hands, can't believe the decision wasn't given.
It looked like one from up here. And it looked like as he was getting ready to stride towards the ball, a plant foot was put right in front of him.
Having said there was no movement on the bench, Diego Luna has just been called to get ready. Here's Aronson. Aronson's ball through down the right side. Tessman into the middle. Alonso's header away only as far as Tessman once again. He'll dance along the byline. Tessman could win the corner here.
I think it was Alonso. Look at a look here. The ball comes in and just right here as he's going forward. Not enough for me. Yeah, just a little shove.
Alex Freeman is going to be the other change that is made. Third corner of the game coming up here for the United States. In the 64th minute, Arston stands over it. That left foot delivery high in towards the back post. And Cisco will chase to try and get it away, but Aronson was first to react. Lovely turn from Brendan Aronson here. Aronson to the byline. It's Arston who stands the cross up back post and glanced behind there for another corner by the captain for Paraguay, Gustavo Gomez.
Balogun clapped his hands. Watch this. I mean, lovely balance skill. It's just this ball right here is just too high for Balogun. You can see he's just prepping to go climb that ladder and knot it in, and just claps his hands. If it's just about 3 feet lower, he's knotting that into an empty net.
Gio Reyna, who scored the goal for the US, will take this corner. Aronson. Across to the right it comes here for Serginho Dest, the 36th cap for Dest, who appeared in both games in September. Start against South Korea in New Jersey was his first cap since the Nations League final against Mexico in March of 2024. His PSV side 3 points clear at the top in the Netherlands. Here's Dest trying to get on the end of this one. Hill came out quickly. It seems as if it might be a change on that right side with Dest and Scally both leading the game, as Freeman and Luna get set to come in. Aronson.
Maybe that puts Aronson into more of a wing-back position, and I'd love to see Luna and Reyna in the center of the field playing together in between those lines, getting on the ball. The two of them can create some serious problems for Paraguay together.
Alonso. Still tied 1-1. It would be the third draw for the US under Mauricio Pochettino. Getting away here to Christian Roldan. He's got Reyna ahead, Balogun as well, and wide to the left it's Aronson here. Aronson against Cáceres. Sosa Closer with the crossfield ball to pick out Miguel Almiron, whose header forward is chased by Arce, but Robinson is back there to help it all the way back towards Matt Fries. Fries making his MLS debut here in this stadium in April of 2019 in a win against Montreal. Made the move to New York in January of 2023. Reina gliding forward once more, finds Dest, he's got Balogun in the middle, Aronson at the back post, and Dest drives it in! It's out for a corner.
Now, we've seen him do that. I mean, he's very comfortable going in on that left foot. We've seen him score some nice goals doing so, and he's just got to wait a little bit long for this ball. You can see he's just backpedaling slightly, but plenty of room. And we've seen him curl that ball far post, but he just elects to put his laces through it. He catches a lot of power. I thought that looked like... Did you see? I don't think there was a touch to that.
Is that Auto Trader key sum of the game as Diego Luna makes his way into the match, replacing Joe Scally. Luna's 14th straight US game, the longest active streak of any player. The other change sees Serginho Dest make way for Orlando City's Alex Freeman. More activity on the Paraguay bench as well. There'll be a couple of changes for them in a few minutes' time.
We'll have to wait to see if there's a formation change or just a shuffle.
Corner flipped on by Roll down there, but put away by Bobadilla. Tessman. Oh, lovely play from Tanner Tessman. Can he get the ball into the middle? Sosa clears away, and Cisco underneath it, and the challenge was rolled down. And a free kick here for Paraguay. Antonio Sanabria will be one of the players coming in. He's just getting some final instructions from Gustavo Alfaro, the coach.
At a quick glance, it looks like it's moved into more of a 4-2-3-1 formation with Gio under Balogun. Aronson on this near side. Pochettino's been giving him some instructions, and Luna taking his place on that far side.
Brian Ojeda is also going to come in, so hot on the heels of Real Salt Lake's Diego Luna coming into the game for the US. It's another Real Salt Lake player who will be making his way on for Paraguay.
Yeah, looks like they're going to stay in this same formation, actually, and as I was hoping, Aronson going to move into Dest's position, Freeman into Scally's. Now we're going to see Luna and then Reina in the center, right in between the lines, playing next to each other.
It goes towards Gio Reyna. And Cisco got ahead to that one. It will be Cisco and Arce leaving the game for Paraguay at the next break in play, with Ojeda and Sanabria coming in. Is there still time for Cisco to make a mark? It's gone off Diego Luna. Paraguay just holding on before they make the change here. Paraguay's 9th game of 2025. They've only lost twice. Once was against South Korea in October, and the other one was in June against Brazil in World Cup qualifying in Sao Paulo.
They got the win against Argentina and Brazil. They needed to. Honestly, if you deconstruct their qualifying, those two wins are massive.
They only conceded 10 goals in 18 games, tied for second fewest of any team. They had 10 clean sheets in 18 World Cup qualifiers, but they only scored 14 times as well. Into the final 20 minutes here. No scoring since the opening 10. The US did lead the game through Gio Reyna 4 minutes in. Alex Arce leveling with his first international goal in his 12th cap in the 10th minute of play. Roldan tries to make the challenge. Balogun into the path of Gio Reyna. It's Gio Reyna across goal. Balogun! Inside the final 20 minutes, it's another goal for Balogun. And the scorer of the first, Gio Reyna, turns provider for the second. The United States are back in front. Balogun scores on his third start in a row.
Well, it starts with Diego Luna here. Just watch this relentless pressure. Doesn't give up there. I mean, continue to just be a little bit of a pest. And Roldan, he gets the turnover. A lovely little skill there from Balogun. Of course, it deflects right in the path. And we said he's been in that position endless times. I mean, beautiful little skill to set up Gio Reyna. You can see Reyna's trying to find Roldan. The deflection falls right there for Balogun, and he's not going to miss this one. He got his goal, and we talked about it. Hasn't gotten a lot of touches, but I mean, he's been consistent. He has been as involved as we've seen in performances as of late, but not getting frustrated, continuing to make the run, sets that play up, and then finishes it.
The changes made by Paraguay boss Gustavo Alfaro. Gio Reyna, a goal scorer and a provider. With the deflection on the way through in defence, he won't actually get that assist credited to him, but
I hate that.
Heavily involved.
That's,
oh, you would?
I want the assist. Give him the assist.
Tessman's ball back here down the right side, and this is Gio Reyna. Helps it forward for Aronson. Aronson cutting inside one way then the other. Balogun wants it played early. Couldn't quite get the ball across first time. Comes back to Balogun again. Balogun drives it wide.
Gio Reyna toe poking that ball away. I mean, just the amount of tiny details. I mean, something as small as this is just the commitment to go win that ball back. And you can see what Balogun's trying to do. I mean, a difficult skill, but that was the thing that was lacking for almost a year under Pochettino. As so many players, I think it was 71, went and got caps. It was that just commitment to go win individual battles, to be defensively aggressive, to always get contact on the ball, to be switched on when you're in possession. All these little things that were missing are now, when you add them all together, leading to good performances.
Balogun's 8th international goal. He'll be leaving the game shortly. Ricardo Pepi is getting set to come in. Away by Roldan. Aidan Morris coming in as well, and it will be a triple change with Timmy Tillman coming in also. Tillman, a late addition to the squad, the LAFC man, after the withdrawal of Tyler Adams and also Sean Zawadski of Columbus due to injury. So here come the changes for the United States.
My skincare advice? Use All Free Clear detergent, the #1 brand recommended by dermatologists. It's free from fragrance allergens found in leading scented detergents. Caring for your skin starts in the laundry room. Wash with All Free Clear.
The two goal scorers make way, Gio Reyna and Folarin Balogun, and Christian Roldan comes off as well after 75 minutes of very solid work at the base of the midfield.
All three of those players. That is the type of consistent and high-level performance of players that you count on to go to World Cups. I mean, all three of them were excellent today.
Into the final 15 minutes as Ojeda plays it inside here for Bobadilla. Sosa giving chase. Ojeda's next regular season appearance in MLS will be his 100th since joining Real Salt Lake, initially on loan from Nottingham Forest in August of 2022. It's his 4th appearance in a row for his national team. Had his option picked up for next year by Real Salt Lake last week, so continuing to be a teammate of Diego Luna's. Should be a 12th win in 21 games under Maurizio Pochettino. It would extend the unbeaten run for the US to 4 matches. More common ball opposition coming in Tampa on Tuesday night as the US take on Uruguay. Here's Freeman. Freeman's ball across to the far side, and Max Arfston. Fries finds Ream. Morris. Lovely ball to play Tessman. Taken away though by Tessman, and down the right side it's a chance here for Gomez. The US conceded quickly after scoring the first. Paraguay looking for a levelling goal once again here. Had a 2-2 tie in the October window against Japan. Comes out towards Almiron from distance, and Fries has to tip it over. That had some swerve on it, didn't it, from Miguel Almiron?
Referee almost gets an assist here. Almiron, this thing is moving. You could see it right at the last minute. Just changed directions. Fries, he watches it the whole way and makes the right play. Don't try to catch that. Don't try to parry it. It starts to rise right at the last minute. Palms it over for the corner kick.
Gomez with the corner. 2 goals in 10 Premier League appearances this season for Brighton. 5th corner of the game for Paraguay, into the front post, all the way through. A couple of swings at that one, no one able to make contact, and down the left side. Goes out of play. It was Tillman who got the challenge in to deny Riveros, the left back. Almost got a touch to it at the penalty spot. Ojeda. Riveros. And Tillman's won it back. He's got Luna to the left, and Diego Luna might be in here. Pepe is in the middle. Luna might want to go all the way himself. It's Diego Luna, the substitute, across goal. It's Ricardo Pepe. He's denied. We talked before about Pepe's impact off the bench, and he had a golden opportunity to get another goal as a substitute.
A lovely step over here from Luna, and you can see Pepe is just waiting for it. He just wants too many attempts at it. Yeah, the first touch just doesn't sit right in front of him, and the fact he has to clean it up again right here, if he can hit that second one, he's got a goal. There's just no way you're going to get 3 touches and finish that chance. You expect him to bury that.
Change made here with Alejandro Romero Gamarra coming on, better known as Kaku from his time with the New York Red Bulls. 72 MLS regular season games over 3 years for the Red Bulls, 13 goals and 25 assists for the man who plays now for Al Ain in the United Arab Emirates. Brendan Aronson's day is over. And Sebastian Berhalter will be coming in. Big ovation from the home crowd for Brendan Aronson.
Yeah, good performance from Aronson. He deserves the crowd giving him some love. Always see that tireless work rate. I mean, you never question his commitment. It's always there. Yeah, he was a handful today.
Sebastian Berhalter wasn't in the squad in October. His last appearance was as a starter against South Korea in the first game of the September window. Sebastian Berhalter named in the MLS Best 11, as was Alex Freeman, who was also named MLS Young Player of the Year. Both of them coming into this game off the bench. Incredible MLS seasons for both of those players. And Sebastian Berhalter still going, as his Vancouver side will host a conference semi-final in the playoffs against LAFC. Promises to be an incredible game. They've sold 53,000 seats. It's a sellout in Vancouver for that game next week between not only Vancouver and LAFC, but Thomas Muller and Son.
I loved how, Bees asked him about his goals. He was talking to us about the World Cup roster, and Bees asked him, all right, what other goal do you have? Go win an MLS Cup. Yeah, like that. After everything they've done in the season they've had, that's the next target for him.
Yellow card shown here to Bobadilla. And Sebastian Berhalter has talked a lot about the impact Thomas Muller has had on the squad as a whole, but on his game as well. The standards that he demands. The impact that Muller, a player who's achieved so much coming in and being such a great character in the locker room, and the influence on and off the field is an example to everyone, and particularly for Sebastian Berhalter.
I played with his dad. His dad was a competitor, was a pro, was a great person to have to hold people accountable in training, and you could tell that it's been passed on for sure.
Afton cutting in down the left side. Tenacious from Afton over there on that far touchline as we're 8 minutes from stoppage time here in Philadelphia. Tessman wide for Berhalter on the right side. Into the path of Tillman. Tillman wide for Afton, who is in space here. First touch wasn't the best. Cáceres able to get there. Comes towards Sosa for Paraguay. Played forward down the left, and Almiron will chase. Freeman was back there, sliding in with the challenge. Gio Reyna's first headed goal for club or country gave the US the lead 4 minutes in. Arce leveled in the 10th, and then Balogun with right now what looks like being the match-winning goal has the United States in front by 2-1. 71st minute goal from Balogun, just a couple of minutes before he made way for Pepe. A looping throw from Alonso, headed away there by Miles Robinson. Luna turns this one forward towards halfway. Berhalter chasing. Ojeda's ball back is met there by Alonso. Ojeda again in the challenge. Pepe. Find Luna on the far side, but it's played wide for Sosa on that right touchline. Sosa with the early ball into the middle, took a deflection on the way through, and Freeman will hook it away. Throw here level with the edge of the penalty area. Almiron. It's gone off Berhalter for a throw.
Outside of that one mistake, the back line for the US has been really strong. I've been impressed with the performance. We haven't called Tim Ream's name a lot. I mean, he's just been excellent. I mean, he's been great with the ball out of the back. He's been communicating a lot, right positions.
Once more a long throw from Junior Alonso. The central defender gets this one towards the penalty spot. Alonso once again here. That left foot delivery headed away firmly by Tim Ream. Pepe is underneath it. Dropping here towards Sanabria. Sosa on the right, up against Afton. Plenty of bodies in the middle here as it comes in towards the captain Gomez. Robinson clears away. And then that cross back into the box by Kaku. Bobadilla chasing across to the far side. Crossed in once again. This time it went off the head of Tillman. Gomez gets it back here. This is Miguel Almiron. Almiron's ball forward. Kaku gets the strike. And Sebastian Berhalter with not only the challenge but some words for his opponent after that challenge.
He just reads this really well. Watch